Hi, good morning. Let's now go to lesson number 2 for this week kasi walang pasok ngayon. And let's discuss. As you all know, the content standard was shown on the first video for this week. Yan. And again, we are going to address economic problems. Performance standard, we're gonna attempt what? For this week, for the whole quarter, attempt to analyze different problems so that we will know how to solve them. And I'm referring to economic problems. And for this week, it's a new week. Walang pasok ngayon. So, lesson today, it is asynchronous learning, meaning you can watch this video anytime today. Pwede nyo tapusin yung mga activities niya sa ibang subjects. Okay? So we're going to examine the utility and application of applied economics to solve economic issues. We're trying to study different ways in we can use economics to solve economic issues. And of course, we have the book, page 8 to 14, Applied Economics. Now, Brainbuster, think about this. Define the term basic economic problems of society. Okay? What are the basic economic problems of society? Ulit-ulit yung lesson, ano? So by this time, mamememorize nyo na familiarity. Kasi at the end of the goal, or the goal for the end of the quarter is what? Understand economics, its importance, and how it impacts solutions to everyday problems in terms of money. Yan, ha? So, by the end of this course, I'm so excited kasi marunong na kayo dapat humawak ng pera. Di ba? That's the what you call application approach. Pero siyempre, the lesson deals with bigger problems as a society, as a country, and as a member of the ASEAN group of countries, and as a member of the global community. But we will start small. Pag nag-major kayo in economics, gaya ni President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, ay mas higher economics ang tatalakayin. Identify and analyze examples of basic economic problems in the real world situations. Okay, kaya kanina meron quote. Problems issue of unemployment, limited opportunities, ano pa? Compared to individuals, employment, seeking employment. Would you rather have? O, ito, magandang tanong ito. Pag-isipan nyo ito, pause nyo lang yung video sa mga tanong na. Don't skip. Use your brain. We're trying to help you learn. Wake up. You have to use your brain because you're gonna use that until you die. So, siya. Nakapatong kasi. Anong gusto mo? Konti lang yung available trabaho pero mataas yung sahod. Like halimbawa, sa Angeles, ang available job opening ay 1,000. Pero yung sahod nyo mga 30,000. Or, ang available jobs or trabaho sa Angeles City ay 20,000. Pero halos minimum wage. Anong gusto nyong sitwasyon sa Angeles City? Siyempre, pag sinabing konting trabaho pero mataas ang sahod, anong trabaho uri yun? Mga managers, supervisors. So, pag hindi ka nakapagtapos ng college, wala kang trabaho. Pati yung ordinary mamamayan, walang trabaho. Diba? Gusto nyo yun? Or gusto nyo na minimum wage pero kahit sino, kahit senior high school graduate, magkakaroon ng opportunity may trabaho. Pag-isipan mabuti. Kasi diyan nagdedepende yung araw-araw yung decision sa buhay. Yung plano nyo sa buhay. Yung plano nyo, kung makakapagtapos kayo ng college, ng senior high school, or kung anong klaseng work ang dapat nyo i-train sa sarili ninyo. Yun yun. Ganda ng tanong. Pause this video, think about it. That's important. Let's discuss. So theoretically, we have an explanation for those to guide you in making that decision. That's why we have video lessons. Importance of economics. Actually, na-discuss na to in other aspects through the days or last week, even yesterday. Pero let's run through it because we have to follow our lesson guide. Why do we need to study economics? Okay. Context is importance of economics. Don't forget to know how important the subject is to all. They need to do is read the daily newspaper. Baka kayo can Microsoft News, Google News, Inquirer, Rappler, Manila Bulletin, website. Kikita nyo doon. Okay? Or watch the evening news, Netflix. Hindi na uso yata yung TV ngayon. TV Patrol, GMA, halos online. Panoorin nyo. Ano kayo? Ano ang pinaka-important na nakikita nyo? Importante na na-feel nyo doon. It's about what? Mataas ang bilihin, crime, corruption. Okay? Lalimin natin yung ating pag-iisip. So, anong bunga noon? Bakit nagiging corrupt ang tao? Bakit yung matandang si Wilfredo ngayon na kumasa ng baril ay ang init ng ulo? Bakit kaya maraming nagbibisikleta ngayon papuntang trabaho? Bakit mataas ang bilihin ng bigas, ng sibuyas, ng bawang? Bakit hindi lahat ng mga tao ay kaya nilang magpaaral sa exclusive school? Yan. Okay? Yeah. Straight, the news about Filipino fishermen being harassed in the West Philippine Sea by Chinese fishermen is also an economic issue because their inability to fish in our shores will limit the income they take home to their families. Okay, isipan niyo yan. Okay. So, yung West Philippine Sea, economic problem ba yun? Ay, marami akong maiisip na makakasira sa ekonomiya ng Pilipinas. Okay, una, itong fishing. Siyempre, livelihood ng mga kababayan natin banda doon, fishing. At maraming fish doon. Kaya ngayon China doon sinasakop ngayon kasi naubusan nila ng isda doon sa banda kanya. Imagine, maliban sa kakainin ng mga fishermen natin, binibenta nila yan. Kung wala silang benta, nasisira ang what? Flow ng pera. Mamaya malalaman mo. Pag nasira ang flow ng pera, yung pagbili, pagbenta, anong mangyayari sa ating bansa? Hihina ang savings. Keyword. Gumagamit ako ng panahon na salita. Kasi ang keyword doon, maghihina ang economy. Ang economy na naman. Manghihina, in other words, yung pera na tubo sa binibenta natin ng gobyerno. Hihina yung pag-collect ng tax. Pag walang tax, sunod-sunod na yan, masisira. Walang pang gawa ng daan, pang-protect, pambayad ng pulis para iwasan yung korme. Masisira. Basta ang gobyerno natin, gusto niya ay mabilis, mabenta ang mga products natin, bumibili tayo ng products locally, para sa gayon, ang simpleng salita, lalakas yung tax nila at ma-improve nila yung infrastructure ng Pilipinas, yung sistema ng Pilipinas, at pag nag-improve yung sitwasyon ng Pilipinas, mas maraming magkakatrabaho, mas maraming, mas lesser yung problem, yung crime. Malalim, no? Sa simpleng tanong, no? Fisherman sa South China Sea. Chain reaction. Think outside the box. Economics will help the student understand why there is a need for everybody, including the government, to allocate given resources to meet society's needs according to what? Priority. Okay? So, sabi doon, not only us individually, government. Why? Kasi based sa ating lesson, kung nakikinig tayo sa ating lesson, previous videos, parang videos, napaka-importante ito. Kung may subject na isa sa mga importante na makakatulong sa atin sa araw-araw ng buhay, ay economics and organization and management. It's gonna help to succeed in everyday life. Yun totoo yun. All of the other subjects are just backup education so that you will know the basic things of life. But economics, anything about business, organization, they are vital in making you successful. Kaya nga mga incheck, kaya mayaman sila lagi. Bata pa lang tinuturuan na sila ng commerce ng kanilang tatay. Tapos na hindi tayo, bakit mayaman si ano yun? Hindi. Kasi nakita nila yung formula for success. It is in understanding economics and organization and management. And I'm so happy ako yung nagturo dito sa subject na to kasi I don't believe that someone who did not finish this field of course would be able to express the key important, you know, uh, concepts of this subject. Lalo get 25 years ako lang sa industry. Retired industry professional ako ngayon. Gusto ko maging retired government employee. And I know this is very important. That's why I watch the videos. It will help one understand how to make more rational decisions. Padali-dali na gastos dito, gastos doon, Starbucks dito, Starbucks doon. Tapos puro tayo panood ng motivational video. Gusto ni Rendon kumain tayo ng motivational rice. You don't need to eat motivational rice. You need to study economics. Rational decisions in spending money. Because what? There's scarcity. We know what scarcity is. Balikan niyo natin video. Saving part of it and even investing in some of it. On the national level, economics enables students, you, to first look at how the economic, how the economy, open, ano kaya itong word na mamaya, mag-usip ko yung video. So students will first look on how will the economy open to everybody. And they can figure out if the government is doing a good job in inducing the correct allocation of resources for society, well-being, appropriate growth, and regulatory policies. Now, syempre, dito, we also have to understand economics para malalaman natin, check and balance. Is the government really helping us in terms of what? Tayo were affected by employment, underemployment, high prices, yun. High prices of raw materials and basic goods or finished goods. Doon tayo affected, mga tao. Then the business affected by what? Taxes, tax rate, for supply, export, import of raw materials. The government is what? Having problems economics in terms of hoarding, fake products, abuses of companies, etc. So important. Everything is. But how are we going to apply all of this value in economics? There should be something that will help us implement. And we have what? Scientific approach in economics. We have scientific approach in economics because what? Economics is the study that attempts to explain what is happening and what should otherwise happen in the economy regarding resource allocation against unlimited needs. Okay? So we're going to use the tools of logic, mathematics, statistics, economic science, empirically test economic theories as in a systematic, logical, and practical way. That is the scientific approach. And how we're going to do it, there are steps. So in other words, we are trying to study economics. We have learned about opportunity cost, right? We have learned about the definition of scarcity. And we have established, by now you should be convinced that we have established that there is an endless want of in society. Kaya lang kapag sa gusto ko ito, tapos nagkukulang kasi ang taas ng presyo. So, how can we apply scientific approach? O yung tinatawag na makakapagpapag natin. Para sa gayon ay maunawaan natin, magasta natin o magamit natin ang available na pera natin or resources or gamit para sa gayon ito ay what? hindi nagiging headlang para tayo ay umasin. So, cool. I'm speaking in basic terms. The goal is for you to be happy, eliminate stress. And one part of humanity says that we need to provide our daily basic needs, food, shelter, and clothing. And all of these factors are being hampered or crippled because what? There's a lack of resources. On our terms, kulang ang pera. Paano magkakaroon ng pera? Kailangan it works in cycle. We'll find out as we move forward. We have to understand how scientific approach in studying, spending, how we're going to apply it in everyday life. So, okay, the scientific approach. Now, number one, the formation of specific hypotheses or intelligent guess to be empirically tested based on general and established conditions. A scientific approach also tests if these conditions on which the hypothesis firms explain the hypothesis itself. Okay? So that's number one. Meaning, pag sinabing hypothesis, yung haka-haka ninyo based sa mga nakikita nyong evidences. Okay? Kaya nga sabi doon, or intelligent guess. Hindi lang yung chismis. Yung tumaas yung presyo, ganito yung available supply. So I think may shortage ng rice. Yun, kasi nakita mo may tumaas ang presyo, konti lang yung available rice. So may shortage. That's what you call intelligent guess. Hindi yun, tumaas ang presyo, siguro marami nagnanakaw. Ano, alam na yung nagnanakaw, wala ka na nabasa ganun. So, meaning you have to formulate intelligent guesses or hypotheses that can be tested or na pwedeng i-research. So, sinabing may shortage of bigas, magre-research ka. Is that valid? Yun ang isa sa mga scientific approach. Pangalawa ay systematic observation and gathering of facts that can prove that theory. Okay. So in other words, gathering of truth, research again, na pwede magpatunay na ang haka-haka mo or intelligent guess or hypothesis mo ay totoo. Okay? So you have to gather evidence. Number 3, application of logic to the observed facts can also determine casual relationships and eliminate unnecessary and irrelevant facts. So pag research mo ay what? Marami kang makikitang literature, tanggalin mo yung hindi related sa gusto mong malaman. Number 4, empirical testing to validate the hypothesis. For example, testing the facts if they explain and support the hypothesis. Okay, let's just summarize that. After number 5. And number 5, if not finding the reason for invalidation and repeating the steps of scientific approach until a hypothesis is validated to become a theory. Actually, this is the step in finding the truth. Yung step na to, it's an economic approach, but these steps can be used if you want to check fake news. Okay, so I did not expound on number 4, but I want to summarize 1 to 4 para lang hindi nakakalito. But for fast learners, you would understand the one-by-one explanation. But for learners who are so busy or their mind is like they're watching this video and playing games, okay, let me summarize it. So, in other words, the scientific approach means that you have to think of a solution to an economic problem. And when you say that, okay, I want to solve unemployment, you have to look for important data, research that will support your conclusion that unemployment is a problem and that needs to be solved. So once you gather all the data and statistics, pick the one that is related to your goal. So you want to fix unemployment, but locally, not national unemployment. So you get all the data, filter it, and focus on local unemployment reasons, specifically Manila City. And then from that, you can conclude that there's really unemployment based on the data gathered. That's it. That's the scientific approach. Let's talk about positive economics and normative economics. This is the last topic for today. Day 2, no class. So when we talk about positive economics analyzes the cost and effect, cost effect, and interrelationship among factors and events. What does this mean? It means that, example, mayroon akong bicycle shop. Nagtitinda ako ng mountain bike. Malaking puhunan, ang presyo nila ay tigta 10,000 kasi ali lahat, maganda yung pesa. Okay? Kaso hindi mabenta. Anong dahilan? Baka hindi na uso yung magbabike ngayon kasi hindi na pandemic. That's a factor. Kaya hindi mabenta ngayon kasi ang nangyari ay mas mura ang sasakyan ngayon, ang daming e-bike and everything. That is a major event. Okay? The economic market requires us to what? Not to ride the bicycle anymore because it's dangerous on the road. There are more vehicles. That's an event. Okay? So positive economics analyze the effects of your products in relation to its surroundings. And what else? This is a study of what is happening in the economy, like the current inflation rates, national income, and employment. In other words, this is an objective study of economic realities based on economic decisions. So, when we talk about economic decisions on our scale, sa bilang consumer or tao, sa ordinaryong tao ay ano yung binibili natin, anong gusto natin bilhin, anong pangarap natin bilhin, o okay, anong hindi natin pwedeng bilhin. Nagdedepende yan kung mahal ang binibili, sobrang mahal o sobrang mura, inflation rates. At pag nakakabili tayo, nakakatulong tayo sa pagbayad ng tax, value added tax. Yung business na pinagbibilhan mo ay nagbabayad ng tax, business tax, etc. tax. Then, kumikita yung bansa, that's national income. Paano kumikita yung bansa through national income? Pag marami na-collect ng taxes, kaya ng BIR, sabi nila, nakakollect ng 10 billion in taxes, etc., etc. Yung part na yon ay maliban na i-allocate sa infrastructure, which will help local business. Pag it helps local business, more taxes kasi mas maraming nabibenta o binibili ng mga produkto kasi maayos yung infrastruktura. At sa national income, ini-invest din sa other business ng gobyerno, like sa housing, para babayaran natin o kaya magpapautang siya through GSIS, through banks, government banks. Kumikita yon, umiikot yung pera. Pag kumikita yung government sa pamamagitan ng tubo, sa pagpapahiram ng pera sa taong bayan, ay ibig sabihin, dadami na naman yung pondo niya, national income, at ibig sabihin, iikot na yung pera, gagawin niya ulit yung cycle, hanggang mamatay tayo, maginhawa yung buhay. At the same time, economic decisions also affect employment, as we discussed. It is objective because it's supposed to be what? Devoid of biases for what is not real. Okay, what does this mean? It means that pag you're using positive economics, yung katotohanan lang. Di ba? Pamisa kasi, naalala niyo yung shortage ng sibuyas? Sabi ng mga suppliers, wala naman shortage. Ay may shortage. Ibig sabihin, hindi nagtatanim masyado ang mga farmers. Tapos na laman nila, hoarding pala. Yung mga big time sindikato, tinatago nila yung sibuyas, binibili nila lahat sa murang halaga sa farmer, tinatago nila para tatas yung presyo, kikita sila. Gahakan na. So, we do not do that. We want to be devoid of bias. We do not say, ay talaga may scarcity of sibuyas. We do research. We don't say, ay may scarcity of sibuyas, pero tinatago pala natin. No. So, positive economics means the real deal, what is really happening. One example of positive study is the primary theory of the monetarist school of economics, that it is the uncontrolled increase of money supply that fuels inflation, sustained increase in prices. Okay, inflation is like prices of commodities are going up and up and up and up. Okay, na-discuss ko na rin to sa room. Every time you print money without a, what you call, a reserve, then inflation rate happens. The value of money goes down, and usually this happens with corrupt governments. If you remember, some governments, they just keep on printing money to pretend that the country has a lot of monetary reserve. The problem is regarding that is, if you don't have reserve, you don't have what exchange, you don't have what you call a foundation for printing out money. And the problem there again is to add that politicians will print money and just put them in their pocket and pretend they have a lot of money, and it is affecting our economy. That's what happened during one presidency before. Okay, that's why the economy plummeted. So this means that we do not just print money, we do not increase the supply of money. That fuels inflation. Based on our lecture, there are also other reasons for inflation. And this is proven through like affects real economic problems. So it's not only by printing money without any reserve that causes inflation. There are also a lot of factors. Okay. So what are the other factors of inflation? There is what you call fake inflation. Fake inflation meaning the hoarding. It increases the price, but supply is not really what? Short. There's no shortage. See? So they're doing what you call a forced inflation or increase of prices due to criminal activity. Subsequently, inflation can also happen in a legal basis. Like the raw material to produce the product is so expensive because they are imported from other countries. Then the prices goes up. See, it works both ways. Let's go to normative economics. We just completed positive economics. In summary, when you talk about positive economics, you have to study economics in its real setting. You have to study why prices go up, prices go down, demands go up, demand go down. When we say the word demand in economics, we're talking about what? What the people want to buy. Then it affects supply, because if supply is not sufficient enough to cover the demands, scarcity happens. Positive economics. Now let's go to normative economics. It passes judgment on economic decisions by outcome, as established by positive economics, determining if they conform to the desired standard of what is economics, good or uh, bad, or is it good sounding. Okay, take the book. What is that word? Well, anyway, normative economics is the judgment that you're going to make after understanding or completing the study positively, which is positive economics. This is a study of what should be like dispersing business investment towards the countryside, to rural poverty incidence to tolerable level by international standard. Meaning, okay, siyempre nakita mo na yung positive economics na pag-aralan mo, anong gagawin mo ngayon? Like nakikita may shortage of agricultural products, what are you gonna do? So you're gonna do another assumptions based on scientific approach, hypothesis, until you what? You solve the problem. To use monetarism again as an example, the policy of to control inflation should be ruled based on not discretionary to prevent abuse of the money supply. So in other words, if we're going to use the monetarism rule again, it only means that huwag ka lang nag-print ng pera. Di ba piniprint lang naman ng pera sa central bank? Huwag dahil sa gusto mo. No. It depends on what? The actual study and need based on reserves. based on the economy. The rule can fix money supply growth for, say, the next 5 years to temper inflation following the inflation rate standard of monetary soundness and prudence. So, in other words, if we understand the monetary system, it means that you just know, you don't, in order to fix inflation, you just don't print money. You have to find the real cause of inflation. Is it because shortage of raw material, of supply, or import prices? In well-managed economies, an inflation rate beyond or even nearing 5% is already alarming tayo, 17% yata. So, totally wasted ang country natin. Ay, naka. 5% pala, talagang no, dapat mababaliw. Okay? And here is the summary of positive and normative economics. Positive economics focus on what is really happening. Normative economics focuses on, okay, nangyari na to, ano dapat gagawin natin? What ought to be? Based on facts and evidence, positive economics. And normative economics, since we're trying to come up with a solution on the facts and evidence, it comes with values and opinion. Purpose is to describe and explain economic phenomena. It's positive economics meaning, paano natin ma-interpret yung nangyayaring mga kahirapan sa bansa. Example, normative economics will say, make valid judgment about economic phenomena. Meaning, so, yung positive sasabihin, ay, nako, kaya nangyari ito kasi yung gobyerno mayroon 17 billion na utang. Tapos sasabihin ni normative economics, kasi nga, nagnakaw sila ng pera sa bayan, kaya hindi nagamit ng maayos. Normative economics, since it is based on facts, it can be tested or verified. Normative economics, since it's based on opinions and values, it depends on what kind of person who is giving the opinion. An example, so in a statement, the unemployment rate is 5%. That's a fact kasi may basis yan. Kunwari ganun nga. Pero normative economics would say, oy, the government dapat magtaas ng sahod. Pero hindi natin alam bakit tataas ang sahod. Kasi, pag tumas yung sahod, anong epekto niyon sa unemployment? Kasi it's an opinion. Okay? Hope this helps in identifying positive and normative economics. How do we measure the economy? Meaning, when you talk about measuring the economy, susukat ba yan? Yeah. Pag kumikita, again, yung bansa, ibig sabihin, makakita natin ilan billions ang kita niya, trillions. Pag may kulang na or maraming walang trabaho, alam natin ilan yon. Kasi based on population, how many are, legally supposed to be employed compared to tambay. We can measure economy. But let's go further. We always read in the newspaper how the economy has grown in recent years. Pinakita ko na yung GDP per presidents, di ba? Before we go into nitty-gritty, meaning detail of applied economics, it is important we first learn how economic activities are measured. So, how do we count? How do we say our country is stable in terms of economy? O sa simpleng salita, para maintindihan kasi I always use the word economy, paano natin, at i-translate yung word economy sa simple terms, paano natin malalaman kung ang mga tao ay kaya nilang bumili ng gusto nila? O kaya bakit ang tao ay sa halip na bibili ng Coca-Cola ay iinom na lang siya ng tubig? Yun, tinatawag na what? Economic activities on a lower scale. On the business scale, when we talk about economic activities, it has something to do with how much does Toyota produce or how much cars does Toyota produce in 1 year to satisfy the car industry. The heart of economic activities that make the economy is production, whose value measures both the resource input and output. Ayan, pag-ikot ng pera. Ulit-ulit natin in discussion. We measure the economy pag ang piso mo ay napupunta sa ibang negosyo. Tapos yung negosyo, bahagi ng piso napupunta sa government through tax. Tapos yung tax, bahagi ng piso mo napupunta sa tao sa pamamagitan ng ginagawa ng gobyerno, free training for employment, pinapagawa ng daan para yung business mo hindi naantala. Input, output. Our national government is always happy to inform the people that the GBT's country, as one basic measure of economic activities, has grown faster than that in the previous administration. Lagi nila sinasabi ito, mas ako hindi ako naniniwala dito. Hanggat hindi ko nakikita locally na ang presyo bumababa, maraming trabaho, kahit ang sabihin ng gobyerno, parang hindi ka panipaniwala kasi it can be manipulated to make the government look good. But nevertheless, it is a basis for study as well. On a scientific basis, pag sinabing tumataas ang GDP ng government, we need to what? Do some scientific approach in economics. Yung pinag-aralan natin kanina. Yung 5. Yan. So, standby ito. I want you to do your own research. Okay? Measure the GDP through going online. Self-study to learn. The government plans for a better economy from the perspective of what the economy has been. Siyempre, the government wants to improve you. But gawin kong basic ang explanation ko. Ang gobyerno natin, gusto niya ikaw mabili mo yung gusto mo. Simple. Kasi maraming beses hindi mo nabibili yung gusto mo. Bakit? Either wala kang pera. Bakit wala kang pera? Wala kang trabaho. Kung may trabaho ka man, kulang yung sahod mo. Bakit? Inflation rate, mataas yung bilihin. At gustong ayusin ng government. Yan. Pag inaisa yan, na-explain ko na kanina, balikan mo yung previous slides ko or few minutes back, there's a chain or flow. Para maintindihan natin, lalo, let's give you a diagram. Dami ko sinabi, explain ko sa diagram for our synthesis. Tapos na tayo. Synthesis. Yan. It's economic activity. It summarizes our lesson for today. Goods and services are provided by the company, black arrow. Consumer supports the firm by buying the products. A company helps the household kasi may employment, red. And sa gitna nun, may taxes pupunta sa government. Una yung gross domestic product. Ibig sabihin, magiging maayos at kikita yung government, magkakaroon na siya ng pondo. That's the basic explanation. To go further, let's put more details. Advanced mode. Same diagram pero mas detalye sa mga advanced learners. So, nakikita niyo same process pero meron what? Factors of the market, may income from resources, payment for resources, consumer spending, goods, services. Just follow the arrow. Yan. Iikot yan. Diyan kumikita ang gobyerno, diyan umasenso ang tao, diyan umasenso ang negosyo kung walang corruption. Hi! So we're already 40 minutes in the discussion. Tama-tama. Sa subject natin, 45 minutes per day, diba? So we completed today's 45 minutes class. Kasi meron piling motivation, question and answer, game during the actual class. So explanation, this is the theoretical explanation. Session 2 completed. Congratulations. Hope you learned more things about economics. Ang galing, no? Ang ganda, no? We have completed 44 slides in 40 minutes at least. So we have completed what? The session for today. Congratulations. Please watch the other videos as well. Review, panoorin nyo lagi basta gayon ay meron tayong natutunan. Have a nice day!